It is said that the greatest blessing in the three worlds is to have the guidance of a true Guru. And Yogananda had been yearning for his Guru for a very long time. Although he had seen glimpses of his Guru during his meditations, still he was not sure when he would find and meet his Guru. Today we will learn how this deepest desire of Yogananda got fulfilled. Welcome to part 5 of the book session on Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramhansa Yogananda. Yogananda had promised his father that before embarking on his spiritual quest, he would complete his high school studies. He hardly attended the school lectures as much of his time was devoted to meditations, and now the time for his final exams was approaching and Yogananda was clueless on how he would pass the exams. So he made an earnest appeal to God to help him. We know that God works through his instruments, and so the very next day Yogananda met his classmate Nantu, and Nantu was a brilliant student. He came in as a divine instrument and he helped Yogananda by highlighting the important questions. And this is needless to say that only those questions came for his final examinations, and in this way Yogananda was able to clear his high school examinations. Friends, it was not that Yogananda, he did not attended his high school lessons because he was having fun with his friends or because he was just roaming around. No, it was his deepest desire that came from his heart to meet the saints who had communed with the divine so that even he could commune with the divine, and so he used to spend a lot of time in his meditations. And friends, when we too walk on the path that is in alignment with a higher purpose, then we see that all these obstacles, they are removed by itself and we are helped by an invisible hand. But if we walk on the path that is not meant for us, then even the smallest obstacle will appear to us as something insurmountable. So the question to ask here is, friends, that are we walking the path which is in alignment with the higher self? Are we walking the path which is our soul's calling? And now Yogananda had completed his high school studies and he was free to fulfill his spiritual aspirations. Although his father and his siblings, they were a bit reluctant that Yogananda follows the yogic path, but Yogananda's love for God was supreme, and he left his family to join the Banaras hermitage. And one day in the hermitage, Yogananda realized that his prized possession of a silver amulet had just vanished. We have learned this from the previous lessons that Yogananda had received this amulet through his mother, which a sadhu had given to her, and it was already predicted that when this amulet has served its purpose, then it shall vanish. And it did vanish now. And this left Yogananda a bit sad and unhappy that the amulet he had with him for so many years had now all of a sudden left him. The hermitage where Yogananda was currently living, its ways were quite different and it did not align well with Yogananda's ideals. Yogananda's strict practice of meditation and communing with the God was not welcomed there, and this made him question whether he did the right thing by coming here and leaving his home. And with tears in his eyes, he sat for meditation and he asked God to send his Guru to him. Just then a voice came to him that your Guru will come today. With tears still in his eyes, Yogananda had to visit the market for some hermitage work, and just at the end of the lane, Yogananda's eyes met with a saintly-looking man. Instantly, he felt the familiarity. This divine face was the one Yogananda had seen 1,000 times in his visions. This was the moment when the disciple had found his Guru and the Guru his disciple. Without even exchanging their names or their whereabouts, the Guru knew everything about Yogananda. He asked him not to grieve for his amulet as it had served its purpose, and Yogananda was amazed by his clairvoyance. The Guru, who was in attunement with God, he knew the past, present and the future of Yogananda. And finally, Yogananda asked the Guru his name. Swami Yukteswar Giri, the Guru said. And Swami Yukteswar further said to Yogananda that in 4 weeks' time you will come to my hermitage, to my ashram in Serampore, which is in Bengal, to commence your journey as a disciple. And since Yogananda was not happy in his Banaras hermitage, so he left the hermitage for good and went to meet his elder brother Ananta, who was now working in Agra in a good government position. And his elder brother Ananta, he did not well understand Yogananda's spiritual aspirations, and he tried to convince Yogananda that he should think about earning money, as without money his life would be similar to that of a beggar. But Yogananda's faith and devotion to God was always resolute, and he said that money is God's slave, and God can devise 1,000 resources other than begging. Now comes an enthralling and an enchanting episode, friends. Yogananda's elder brother Ananta, he put forward a proposal to Yogananda. He said that if you and your fellow disciple Jitendra, you go to a nearby city of Vrindavan without taking a penny with you, without revealing your plight to anyone, and without missing any of your meals, and without begging for food or for money, and reaching back to this bungalow before 12 o'clock tonight, then I will trust that your faith in God is true. And so in this way, Yogananda's elder brother was testing the faith and the trust of Yogananda in the divine. And Yogananda, he happily accepted the challenge, and along with Jitendra, they set out with a one-way ticket to Vrindavan. And what happened next, friends, was no short of a miracle. As soon as the train reached Vrindavan, they were greeted by two men who had been waiting for some prince to come to their ashram. But then the prince, he could not come, and instead these two men, they were drawn towards Yogananda and his friend as devotees of Lord Krishna, and so they requested them to come to their ashram. And in the ashram awaited a lavish meal with some 30 courses, the delicacies which they had never tasted in their life. So without even having a penny with them, they enjoyed an extraordinary, lavish meal. And just as they came outside the ashram gate, a young man named Pratap Chatterjee approached them. And this man said to Yogananda that he had often seen him in his meditations and that Yogananda was his guru. And he said that today too, while he was meditating, Lord Krishna appeared to him and said that your guru will be coming today at this very place. So the man requested Yogananda to please accept his request that he may have the privilege to give them a tour of Vrindavan. And together they all visited the holy temples of Lord Krishna. It was now evening time and the time to go back to Agra. This man Pratap, he was truly an instrument of God. He not only purchased the return tickets for them to Agra, but he also handed them a bundle of rupee notes. And before departing to Agra, Yogananda gave Kriya Yoga initiation to Pratap and said that if you practice this diligently, you will soon find God. And soon before the clock struck 12, Yogananda along with Jitendra, they were at Ananta's bungalow. Ananta was awestruck and shocked when he had heard about all that happened with them in Vrindavan. He needed no further proof of the existence of God. With folded hands, he requested Yogananda to give him Kriya Yoga initiation. And in this way, Ananta, Yogananda's elder brother too, he became a disciple of Yogananda. The whole incident, friends, is in itself a testament that shows that one who has completely surrendered to the divine never fails him. Never doubt God's protection. Very beautiful lines that are mentioned in this book, and I quote, "Never believe that you live by the power of food and not by the power of God. He who has created every form of nourishment, he who has bestowed appetite, will inevitably see that his devotee is maintained. Do not imagine that rice sustains you, nor that money or men support you. Could they aid if the Lord withdraws your life breath?" Read these lines again and again, friends. If we understand the deeper meaning of these lines, we will be instantly free from all the delusions that bind us. That is it for today, friends. Join me next week where we will see Yogananda spending his next best 10 years in the hermitage of his Guru Swami Sri Yukteswar Giri, who is also known as India's Gyan Avatar or incarnation of wisdom. Time for Cosmic Chant by Paramhansa Yogananda, and today's Cosmic Chant is Who is in my temple? All the doors do open themselves, all the lights do light themselves. Namaste.